Hey, what's going on, good people? What's going on, folks? Guess who it is? It's Dr. in the building, Remy. Hey, let's go. Hey, K Solo got me hosting the show while he out on the road. I was trying to keep up with him where he at, but he dipping and dodging, so I had to come on here and do my thing because the show must go on. Whether people are for you or against you, you got to keep the show going. So here we go. Tonight's going to be a great show, y'all. Let me give you a little bit about me. Again, I'm Dr. April Remy Jones. I'm out of Nashville. I am a long distance rider. I have done the 4 corners. I've done the 48 states. I have done the I-10 to the end. I have done the 4 corners of the state of Tennessee. I've been out here rolling and riding by myself. Solo, independent. I have been in some clubs before. You know, I have a nonprofit. If you see it say Sankofa Achievement Center, that's what I do. I'm an educator by trade. My doctorate degree is in educational leadership. And now K Solo got me dipping and dabbing in podcasts. It's nothing that I can't do. And nobody's going to stop me. You hear me? Because I'm in a building. But here we go. But that's enough about me. I'm going to bring out Doc J. She has the doctor in front of her name too. And the reason why we got this show going on is because Doc J and myself are planning to hit the 4 corner US tour. So I'm going to bring out Doc J.
Hey, doctor. What's up, girl?
Hey, doctor. Hey, Doc J, thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show with me today, you know?
Yes, always. You know, you my girl. Anything for you. You know, I'm supposed to be sleeping right now.
I know. I'm going to say I'm going to try to keep it short. But you know what, Doc J, today was my first day of school. I had my first student today. You know, he failed the 9th grade last year. And today I gave him an assessment, a math assessment. And I said, you know, this assessment is it's the end of 7th grade level, right? Mm-hmm. This is what you should know in 8th grade. And I gave him the assessment in math, and it was out of 20 questions, he maybe only knew about 3, and he looked like he was kind of bummed, you know, about it. And I told him, I said, baby, that's why you here with me. It's okay. I'm going to take care of you. That's what I do. I take care of people. You know, I've been taking care of a lady for years. You know, her name is Sharon Marshall. She's an elder lady. And one of my bike brothers put me in contact with her because he saw what I was doing with my mom. My mother, rest in peace, died in 2021. But before she died, she was a big woman, bariatric, you know, needed a bariatric chair and big beds and things like that, and she couldn't walk. Well, this lady, Sharon Marshall, one of my bike brothers, his name is Mr. Mike, out of Darkside in Nashville, Tennessee. He saw what I was doing with my mom, and about 5 to 6 years ago, he said, hey, my mama needs some help. Can you help me? So I got her a
That's
doctor
what's up.
and taking care of her ever since. And so I just relocated her back to Nashville. And we're going through a little bit right now, but I'm going to get her back where she needs to be and what she told me she wanted me to do for her. But my point
Mhm.
is, I'm always taking care of people, whether it's kids, adults, my own children. Okay. And
That's
so
what's up.
I'm glad you're here. I think you got the spirit like I have to, take care of people just like you took care of
Mhm.
me when I came to Arizona for the SEMA.
Definitely.
You took care of me. Your vibe, was just genuine. And those people that know me in real life know I have a genuine vibe. And so nobody can
Yeah.
ever distort your name when they know you in real life. Amen.
That's what's up. Amen. Let the
Especially when
church
you're
say
standing on business.
amen.
Hey, especially when you're standing on business and you got paperwork to show everything that you're doing, right? Here we
That's
go.
right. That's what's up.
So I'm just ranting and raving. But Doc J, can you please introduce yourself? I see Queen B is in the building. Queen B, hey girl. Hey, Doc J, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people who you are and your writing resume, please, because I'm impressed. I met you, the first time I met you was when I rode with Black Girls Ride. No, it wasn't even Black Girls. Yeah, Portia Taylor. She
Of
did the
course.
March on Washington, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She rode all the way from California to Washington, and we went up there and we protested and everything. And I met up with them along the way. She had the video crew and everything, and
Yep.
I was so impressed. And then when I got there, at some point you rolled up. I think you had just came off the road from doing a big ride, right? And so when I see
Mm-hmm.
everybody was running over to you like, "Hey, Doc J, Doc J," and I had been seeing you on social media, and I was like, here's my chance to meet Doc J. And so I had to ease on over there a little bit because I ain't no groupie, you know what I'm talking about. But I did want to meet you, and we had a conversation. So, but
Oh
anyway,
my Lord.
I'm gonna quit talking. But go ahead, Doc J. Please introduce yourself.
Girl, why you making my head this big, girl? Making me feel so important.
Are.
No, but I'm Doc J. I live in Arizona with my husband and my kids. Just enjoying life, trying to always be the best person that I can be. I feel I'm misunderstood a lot of times, but like you said, those who know me in real life, they know my heart is big. They know I'm very genuine, and I keep it real. I'm gonna tell you what it is, whether you like it or you don't. But I'm always gonna do it in a nice, respectful way, depending on how you come at me. But I mean, outside of that, just in reference to my writing, I don't really feel as though I have a writing resume, like up there with the greats. I just write, so I don't do a lot of the challenges and all of that. I kind of make up my own challenges that I want to do and where I want to go. And, I'll participate in a lot of different female rides, like you just mentioned, Portia Taylor, any ride that she typically puts on. Usually I'm going to jump on it because I know it's going to be organized. I know she's really about sisterhood and community and giving back and showing love to new riders. I tell everybody I'm still a new rider, so I'm still learning every day. I learn from all of you. And that's just where I'm at. I just ride. There's no riding resume for me. I just ride when I feel like riding. I do pride myself on being a long distance rider. I prefer to ride long distance. I don't really do all the local stuff. And that's about it. That's Doc J.
We got a question. Leroy asked, "What kind of doctor are you?" I don't know who he's asking for. My doctorate is in educational leadership. What is your doctorate in, Doc J?
And my doctorate is in organizational management. So I have a DM, organizational management, and I am a project manager for multiple organizations. I am also an instructor for Grand Canyon University online. I've been teaching there about 15 years now.
Awesome stuff right there. Awesome stuff. And so we are on this show because Doc J and myself have decided to go ahead and do the Four Corners tour together. and we are calling it the doctor's trip. So,
Wait, but let me correct you there because I know you're very humble. So I'm gonna always give credit where credit is due. So Dr. Remy has already done the four corners and she participates in all of these crazy challenges, four corner, true X, all of this different crazy stuff that I really have no interest in doing. I just like to ride. However, Big Sale from FHO had asked me years ago after I completed my 48 states and a lot of the different riding that I did. He asked me, was there any other rides or challenges that I wanted to do? And I had told Big Sale there was about 3 or 4 years ago. I told him what I wanted to do was I wanted to do the four corners of the USA. So when I met up with you, Dr. Remy, a couple of months back at your award show, I was just so impressed by you and your fellow that was there. I'm like, ooh, can you please take me on the four corners? I usually do a lot of riding solo by myself, which I love, but me and you just really clicked so much just speaking to you, you know, your educational level. I just felt like we were on level in reference to how we live our lives, as you stated earlier, how we care about others. And so I asked you basically to be my escort and my guide because you have done it. And then also just to have some company so I can have fun and joke and, you know, clown. So I have to give you credit because everyone is not able to lead someone on such a journey like this. You know, I have to give a shout out to Gorilla Blue, G Blue, because I was actually supposed to do the four corners with him that he just did about a month or so ago, I believe. But based on the schedule, I wasn't able to make that. So that was part of the reason. Also, when I met up with you, I knew I wasn't going to make his um, that I'm like, hey, let's do it. You know, I want to come with you and, you know, and I trust you, you know. So again, I have to give you credit for stepping out saying, okay, although I've done it, you know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it again, you know, with you. So again, thank you for being the leader of this ride and being my guide.
yes, yes, for sure. Thank you so much. I am very humble. Um, I don't know how to brag on myself. I'm still trying to do that. I have a lot of escalades, and I just really try to be humble because
That's
I'm
right.
just not, I'm just not a big head person, and I just do, you know. But anyway, before we go any further, I know K Solo be doing this, so I'm gonna do this. I want to give a shout out. I'm looking at the text. We got Vernon Poe in the building. Good evening. He said good evening. We got Baldhead Nasty. Thanks for being here.
What
David
up? What up?
in the building. We got Kim Henry is in the building. Leroy Hughes. I'm taking
Jamaica.
yeah, Jamaica in the building. She was on my pick
Jamaica.
routine. You know, that's we got to talk about
Yes.
that. We got to have a pit crew. You hear me? Because
Yes.
we'll go further because I had a lot of breakdowns and I had people across the country help me. And so we got to have a pit crew. But Jamaica was definitely on the pit crew. Leroy Hughes, like I
Yes.
said, I'm going to take 3 breaths and let everybody respond. Thanks for being here, Leroy. Tina Lightfoot. Hey,
Okay.
hey, Tina Lightfoot. So yeah, let's go. Who else we got here? Walter Jacquees. Walter. We got Nisha Sizemore. Hey y'all, thank y'all for joining in tonight. This is my first go at it, and so we're here in the building. Um, Before I go any further, let's go ahead and introduce my next guest, right? And so my next guest is going to be Barbara Fox. And Barbara Fox is the wife of Danny Fox, and they are over, well, they were over the Four Corners. So when I had to register for the Four Corners, Danny Fox is the one that sent me my paperwork in the mail. He's the, you know, I had to be registered with the SCMA, which is I already talked to you about that. We got to be registered with the SMA. But now I'm going to bring her on to talk about it because there's been a couple of changes since I did the Four Corners last year. So let's bring on Barbara Fox so she can tell us a little bit more about the Four Corners for those of us that moving forward with trying to do this tour.
And a little history on the organization at all. Southern California Motorcycling Association is an all volunteer organization which was started in 1968 on a dream, an idea, and came to be kind of a cover organization. They had to have a charter and answer to the California state. Oh, I pulled it out of 1968. Anyway, some state office. And when we joined in so 1968, it got going. I found this original trifold brochure from 1968.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I am the historian,
That's what's
Wow.
and
up.
people send me stuff, and I've got 2 file cabinets full of SCMA stuff. So when we joined in 1978, Danny just had to have a 77 BMW R100, which was a very nice bike. And came home with the brochures in the 70s that apparently the organization had 9 or 10,000 members and 20 affiliate clubs under the cover name of Southern California Motorcycling Association, which was started to be family, recreational, good, clean fun. No booze, no carrying on, no nothing. Children were welcome. We had picnics and cookouts in the parks and drawings and funny little competition things like putting your rear tire against a 2x4 and stop and then accelerate and go over the 2x4 without flipping it.
Oh, wow.
It's a good
Wow.
trick, and it's really a good skill to know how to handle your bike.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another one was to have a passenger on your bike and you ride the bike slow, and the passenger has to stand up and grab a hot dog coated with mustard hanging from a string. And a lot of silly skill tests like that. So it was very family oriented. Like I said, our kids were 7 and 2 about that when we first came in. And then after some years, there were people. The ride called Three Flags Classic was started, and it was after one of the riders read an article about D. Baker, who rode from Mexico to Canada in 1915 on a Harley Davidson,
Wow.
which had
Mm.
some kind of engine, which became historic. And so Joe Yucatan, belonging to SCMA, thought, well, why not? We'll do this. So he mapped it out and then when to do it. And before it snows and after the weather's decent and all this. And the only thing left was Labor Day weekend, which he was scared to death because of the traffic. Not that he was afraid, but he was afraid for riders, and it was rather risky. So that was the first Three Flags, was in 1976. And it just went from Tijuana straight up I-5 into British Columbia. And the second year was exactly the same. And in 1978 was our first year, and it was still the same. And I don't remember about 79, and I had our second baby in 1980 and didn't get to ride my 79 BMW much. I sold it in the 2000s with 34,000 miles on it. It taught each of our children how to ride motorcycles. And then I said, Dan, you've been taking so much, why don't you give back? So he ended up being on Three Flags committees, and then I was. And I was publicity chairman, and I was, I don't know what all, secretary, because I know how to read and write. And ended up being secretary for the board, secretary for Three Flags Committee, and secretary for membership meetings all at the same time.
Wow.
And then I
And this
was vice chair for a number of years, and then I was in charge of taking nominations and having a private committee who determined the Legacy Award winners, which was very serious to me. Danny and Jan Stoss, Joe Mandeville, Joe Usatan, Ken Hatke, there might be one other. They were the inaugural 5 or 6 to be nominated for Legacy. And after 6 or 7 years after that got going, I nominated a fellow who was, we called him Mr. Map. He was a lineman for the phone company in California. You talk about some sweet back roads. And without knowing it, my husband called the chairman and got together with the committee. And after we gave Dennis his Legacy Award for the year, they called me up at the end of the banquet and gave me my jacket. They went behind my back and nominated me too.
Oh, that's what's up.
So it's been quite a ride. After the Three Flags class, Joe Usatan got the bright idea to go around the 4 corners of the nation. This is geographical, and it is in cities that have post offices. Three Flags was born out of a dream to continue to spread family recreation and goodwill between Mexico, the US, and Canada. And Doc, that's a ride you should really entertain going on because now it's like a family reunion. After about your first 3 or 4 years, it's like a family reunion. And so Joe got the idea to do 4 corners, and there are 2 stories. One is that he had a nephew who rode, and they decided to do it and see in how many days. And when you do 4 corners, you can start in California, go to Blaine, Washington, Madawaska, Maine, and end in Key West. You don't have to close the box. In later years, when we got more electronically sophisticated, we had young writers say, hey, that's not correct. You're not the extreme corner, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, the tradition is with the post office in the town and to continue to spread goodwill, which is what really happened in Madawaska. We had another fellow who said Blaine's not the extreme northwest corner. There's a place in Washington that's even more so. But to get to that place, you have to have a passport, go into Canada, and then come in the other way. No, we're not going to do that. So we took one of the legal things where practice sets precedents, and we adhere to going to the little towns that have a post office. So when you guys start your 4 corners this next year, and without being able to actually sanction rides because of the insurance difficulty, it's more or less going to be spelled out on the website. Charles Lamb in Virginia and Rodney Chu up here in Scottsdale. Rodney's the vice chair. Charlie's the secretary of FCMA. And they have decided to co-chair 4 corners since my husband retired from it. And roughly the way it's going to work in the next year is like with any 4 corners, there's no route. If you want to visit relatives for 2 months on the way to Madawaska and then race around and go to Blaine, Washington and San Ysidro, California and go home to Florida, you can do it. But this next year without registration, it's more or less going to be a certain, I think, that you let the organization know that you're starting it. You may not even have to or be able to do that, but you start your ride and do picture, like Diane mentioned at the park or the post offices, and a gas receipt and keep track of those and send them in either to Rodney or Charlie. And that documents your miles and your attendance and will get you, you do keep track of your mileage on your gas receipts. And that'll get you listed as a finisher. And as far as the jacket and the hat and the plaques and all of that, I think there's talk of setting up a pretty decent online store. An online store for t-shirts and hats and that sort of thing. It's
So,
really kind of rough yet.
so Barbara, when I came for the SCMA in Arizona, and they presented the awards for the U.S. Four Corner finishers, are you saying
Right.
that when the SCMA does the awards again, they're not going to recognize
Or
us?
basically, are we going to have an awards banquet? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. And I don't know how the light is in this room because I've never done this before.
No.
But we have these Frank Lloyd Wright windows. Can you see the windows?
Yes.
Yes.
And you see all the lucite plaques?
Yes. At the top. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, those are some of our past awards from previous awards banquets. And some of them are just kind of jolly and fun. And in about the mid 2014, 15, 16, when I was doing everything at once, and I can read and write and proofread. My dad's a doctor of education and a music major and an English minor and a business major. And we had to toe the line. Notwithstanding, in Catholic school, the nuns really put it to us. So one joking of those awards up there called me the proofreader. Another one called me the conscience. Another one called me the school marm. And but they're fun, they're pretty, and I wish the SCMA would go back to doing that.
I got some comments here. David Bell said, "I thought I saw the banquet was going to be in California in 2026."
I don't know. I haven't attended meetings on the Wednesday nights. I have to confess, I'm a news junkie and I like to watch the CBS World News
It's okay.
at 6 o'clock. But I really should because I'm still a historian and I haven't resigned. I'm not going to resign from that until I see this online history and digitization completed. The Four Corners happened again, Joe writing or another person, and they could found out they could do it in 21 days. That's why it's 21 days. Stop. The first Four Corners was in 1984, I think, and the first banquet was in 1985. They didn't know how it was going to go, and they had counting real quick here.
You got dogs back there, don't you?
That's only one. They have a very ringing bark. It's called a Gordon Setter, and it's black with mahogany red feet and nose and tail. The only setter bred in Scotland, and they were brought to the U.S. by Daniel Webster.
Wow.
And they hunt, and by now they're born pointing.
I got you. I hear him back there. I got Justice. Justice is in the building. Thank you, Justice, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, it looks like they had about 30. Hello, Justice.
Yeah.
About 30 people took that first ride, and Four Corners took off from there because it is very free spirited. On Danny's second one, the partner he rode with I had a friend he hadn't seen since they were both in the Air Force, so they dropped in on him while they could visit and not have to, worry about time. If you do Four Corners Dock in Maricopa there, you keep your nose to the grindstone because
Yes.
you can break down.
Yeah, yeah.
Danny lost a
Yes.
drive shaft.
I had plenty breakdowns. You hear me? Well, I broke down in every corner. I broke down
Really?
I guess, I was on a '05 Electric Glide Classic, and I had just had it painted and got it, put some speakers on it, because I was like, while I'm out there on the road, I want to be able to hear and bump and listen to a little bit of music, you know what I mean? And so I had just got it out the shop, paid some good money with a custom bagger here in Nashville. And before I even got out of Nashville, I complained. It broke down on me. And so I
Oh,
want to give thanks out to Myron. Myron painted my bike from a royal blue to that nice orange. That orange is my favorite color. And so
oh
big
my.
shout out to Myron with Pound for Pound out of Memphis. But he painted my bike, but he also, once I started breaking down, once I got my bike and started trying to get out of Nashville, he came and got me twice. I broke down twice before I got out of Nashville. And so big shout out to Myron from Pound for Pound. Big shout out to Highway 12, because that's what Myron told my bike to Highway 12 so they can figure out what was wrong. But when you
Oh,
say you have breakdown, so that was just before I even got out of the state of Tennessee. And then I kept going on my journey because, again, I'm not a quitter, right? Someone would have got
no.
That's right.
frustrated and said, you know what? This must be a sign I should not go on this trip. I'm not going. I stayed calm. And
Mhm.
Highway 12 told me what was wrong. They said it was something, a speaker wire that wasn't touching the ground or something, and it kept breaking my bike. Everything just kept going completely off as I
Yeah.
rode. Okay. And so, but
Mhm.
big shout out to Punch Monkey Customs. Once I got near San Ysidro, I was having some issues, and Punch Monkey Customs in Yuma, Arizona took me in. I even stayed the night there. Met the dog. The dog chewed up my boot. We couldn't find it the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like it was buried in the yard in the back. Um, but I kept moving and hit my first corner. Then I did the I-10 to the end. Stopped that Black Girls Ride for a hot second because I had already registered for that. But because of my breakdowns, my time that I thought I was going to have there, I didn't, right? And so I just stayed for a few
Mhm.
minutes, and then I kept it pushing. Then I broke down, and big up, I saw Princess McCall on here. She was part of my pit crew, not originally, but she joined in because I broke down near Miami. And
Uh,
Princess McCall held me in the house. You know, she let me stay at her house for like 2-3 days until I can figure out my bike situation. And then, so big
That's
shout
what's
out
up.
All American Cycles in Miami. The owner there, he took my bike in and fixed me up a little bit from there. And then, I broke down again. I didn't break down in Madawaska, Maine, but I did break down in Wyoming. So big shout outs to Harley Davidson, Flamin' George. I broke down in Mount Vernon right before I hit Blaine. And so big shout out to Cutlass Mountain Cycle. So my ride, I was out there for 29 days. The Four Corners is 21 days. So Doc J, we got 21 days to get these four corners. Okay.
and you
Mhm.
can do it. It's not hard when you
No, it's not.
run.
No, it's not hard. Long as and we're gonna
Mhm.
discuss this. Oh, and that's my route that I had, Remy's Journey 2024. And then after I finished the
Mhm.
journey, I give a big thank you. People donated to me, Jen Brew, Gorilla Blue, Tony Too Fine, D Cat Gray, and the list goes on. But certain people, donated while I was out there. My pit crew helped me out. They kept me aligned with the weather and everything. So that's why I say, Doc J, we got to have a pit crew. And so based on who you know and who I know, we got to put these people in place so we can have some help, right? And then, like I said, and then I gave a big thank you to those service people that helped me out on the road. And so, as I talk about not breaking down near Madawaska, Maine, I want to bring on my next guest. I see you, Barbara. Go ahead, Barbara.
I forgot. How did I meet April Jones? Well, it was at that banquet, Awards banquet in Scottsdale. And of course, I helped Danny and check off lists of names. And I said, April Jones is here. And then she said she had a doctorate. And I was very, very proud of that for her. And that was like breaking the dam. And it was like I've always known her. I guess I come from a family that has 5 or 6 doctors in it. And I'm wildly interested in children. And in a nutshell, hyperactive, attention deficient, smarter than the average bear, wildly interested in everything, easily bored, and generally misunderstood.
Yes.
So that's
Barbara,
me in a nutshell, and it's probably why I've done all that I've done.
we did, and I appreciate the conversation.
It's awesome.
I told Barbara that in Scottsdale that I was trying to break away from the public school system and transition my nonprofit into something bigger. And Barbara gave me some insights, some pointers. She even wrote me a regular letter. Barbara, my mother was a writer, and I've written 4 books, and I think that's where I got it from. But I love someone who put pen to paper and put it in an envelope and mail it with a stamp. I got a letter from Barbara after the awards, and she was telling me like different people that I can hook up with, where I can go if I was looking for a job, if I wanted to get into the collegiate. So we did bond talking about education and children.
Yeah, that was the bond.
Yes, and Doc J, you're a teacher. God has aligned us to help our communities and figure out how we can get knowledge from one another, because it's more than just motorcycle riding. It's more than going to jungles, you know what I mean? We have to help each other, right?
We're all people that have to help each other. My goodness. I'm surprised at how many attorneys are members. We have lots of Juris Doctorates writing.
Really, I need to get in contact with a couple of those attorneys that's writing. So text me after the show. I need a couple of attorneys right now. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my next guest.
Let's do. Thank you.
Okay, so my next guest is the founder. This is her husband. This is Flamin' Joe. I think I got it right. But her
Smoking Joe. Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe. And so we're going to let his wife, Diane LaChance, we're going to bring her on, and she's going to introduce herself.
Well, hello, Barbara and Dr. Remy and Dr. J. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Thank you for inviting me. Okay, so where do I start? What do you want to know?
I want to know who you are, because right now up under your name, now I've met you. Barbara has met you. Doc J will meet you next year, right?
Yes,
but for those of you that do not know you, and it says Madawaska Four Corners Park. Now, I got pictures of there at that corner. So explain the corner and what is it and what do you do?
Well, to start off, to better understand, I got to tell you, Joe and I met about 40 years ago, and I was just a young woman and very green about riding motorcycle. And for my wedding gift, he bought me a Sportster. So there we go, brand new Sportster. Decided to go to Sturgis on an 883. The trip was super. I know. When I came back, I decided to purchase a Springer Softail, and then decided to take it on the road, long distance, and we decided to do the 4 corners of the United States. So we submitted an application for SCMA and talked to all kinds of people, and did the 4 corner tour. without a glitch, me and my husband, and we were camping. We had a little camper trailer, and we met so many people, and we loved long distance. I'm not a town rider either. I need the road. I need the highway. I need the a secondary highway. I need to ride. So, um, so we did the Four Corner tour in 2000 in 16 days, and then we were itching to go back. So in 2008, we decided to go back. During the trip, my husband was sitting here and there, scribbling notes, making drawing. And one night I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Diane, when I get back home, we are doing a park." What kind of park? He said he's going to be a park dedicated to long distance riders. So, hey, I started to back him up. And then when we got back to town in 2008, Joe went to see the people from the town and pitch his idea. And we even went to the SCMA, one of their meeting in California, to pitch our idea, to create a park dedicated to Four Corners finisher and other long riders, and started to fundraising. We purchased 2 empty lots, and then put a monument, which was purchased by Harley Davidson. That's why the logo is there. It's purchased by them. And then a fountain, and then we started selling pavers for finishers, and the park grew and grew and grew. So now, Four Corners travelers, it's their point to stop, their point to take their photo in front of that beautiful big monument. Time to sit back, look at their phone messages, rest. It's an oasis. They can just take a back seat. And I think, Dr. Remy, when you came, I think it was pretty cold, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't cold. It was warm. I came in June of last year.
Oh, okay. Well, it might have been cold back in June, but I think I remember that. So since then, the Four Corners Park is a nonprofit organization run by volunteers. Joy and I are volunteers. And since then, we opened a shop, a welcome center where you can come in, clean bathroom, maps, and gift shop. And then we've seen and grown so much. People from all over the country coming in, they heard about it, and they just, it's a destination. It's a repair to go somewhere. So we're very proud of that. And my husband, since then, we decided to stop riding for health issue. But seeing all of you ride is a blessing for us.
I'm so sad.
One thing I want to get out, if you get on the computer and want to find SCMA, you have to write SC-MA.
That's
That'll
correct.
get you to the Motorcycling Association. Otherwise, you get on the South Carolina Medical Association. That's not us.
Absolutely.
The other thing, Diane, is to find out more about the Madawaska Park, I just wrote Madawaska Park in the search bar.
Yes.
There is the most comprehensive history of how it happened that I have ever read.
Well, Joe wrote that history. I mean,
It's beautiful.
I don't want to take the credit for the founder because it is him who thought about every single item in the park.
Yes.
Everything, it's his brainchild, it's his design. And when he decided to start all that, the volunteer people from the town of Madawaska was overwhelming. They wanted the park because it's a tourist attraction. It is good for our economy, bringing in money for restaurant, lodging, gas, and buying stuff at the stores. So it's now grown to a big thing. And a few years ago, Joe did win an award from the SCMA. We were talking about Charles Lamb, who's a great friend of ours. And every time he comes to Madawaska, which is maybe once or twice a year, I stayed at my house and we have a good drink and we have a good laugh with him. So we're kind of close with the SCMA, met Danny Fax and all those people. So we're very blessed. We're very blessed that we're part of this community of motorcycle, and especially the long distance. I get you.
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Mhm.
well, here, can explain the difference because you and I met before I even got there, right? Because I had went online and registered for the Four Corners Park tour,
Yes,
but
you
it was
did.
not the U.S. Four Corners tour. And so Diane ended up having, I emailed her and I was like, hey, I sent my money to the wrong thing because there's a loop in Madawaska that you can
And I'll
do.
talk to you about that. Yes.
And she did. And then she ended up she gave me a refund and she said, I hope you find the right tour you're looking for. And then I found it, you know.
That's
Um,
great.
but
Well,
yeah,
this brings me to we do have our own tour. The Four Corners Park have to raise money. We're a nonprofit. So we can not copy, but we kind of took an idea from the SCMA and we designed our own Four Corners of Maine. So you hit
Ooh.
Madawaska, you hit Kittery at the bottom of the state, you hit Lubec and Grafton Notch. You register like the old way, the SCMA you used to register. You pay your fee and you do your Four Corners with photos and gas receipt. Then you send everything to us and you get this exclusive shirt that you've completed the Four Corners of Maine. And I want to invite you,
Oh,
Dr. J and
wow.
Dr. Remy, that when you do come up to Madawaska, sign up so that way coming up the state, you can do your Four Corners of Maine so you can do another challenge. And I do
Oh,
challenge
yeah.
I
you.
like
At the
that.
same
I like
time, yeah.
that.
you
I
like
like
that,
that.
Doc?
Yes.
You like
I like that. I like that. I'm
Yep.
with that. We can add
that?
that.
Okay, we can add that. Oh Lord, I just got chill bumps, Lord.
That's exactly. We'd love to get you on our list and then complete that tour, get your shirt, and you're on our website. And if anybody wants to go on our website and find their name and all, um, Four Corners Finisher, SCMA Four Corners Finisher, they get to purchase a paver that is the different colors and any other pavers that you can buy, from for the park.
Oh, very
When
good.
you come in, Dr. Remy and Dr. J, please give us a call. Give us a call a few days in advance and
Yes.
we can meet. Joe can give you a full thorough tour of the park and we can
Yes.
take it from there.
Yes, we
I
definitely
like
will
that.
do that. Speaking
Barbara,
of
you're
park,
invited too.
I don't know the way things go here. We have a sign on our front door I had engraved and made for Danny. It says
we got
Pandemonium Palace.
we got Larry's One Stop Gas Station is up there, correct?
Yes, Larry's across the street. We have quite a few gas station. And of course, we're right at the border of Canada. So if you can cross in Canada, there's beautiful stuff to see there.
Mhm.
There's also in Fort Kent, Maine, which is 25 miles north, the first mile that you can get to. And the roads, US 11 is so beautiful. It's vista and winding roads and maybe a moose once in a while.
Yeah, yeah,
I
because
have since I have a question for the all three of you. Do you find that you're a better car driver because you're a motorcycle driver?
Mhm, I sure do.
I prefer riding a
Yes.
motorcycle, but
I think you become more
Yes.
alert and more aware of everything.
could be.
Yes.
I used
Most
Could
to
be.
definitely.
I used to be a more reckless car driver, riding motorcycles and knowing that I need to look out for motorcycles and really pay attention. Got me really checking my blind spots all the way, turning
All
all the
the
way around.
way.
You know,
Hmm.
I'm more patient. I don't get so upset, like man, go or honking my horn. Because
Yeah,
when I'm sitting
True.
on my bike, sometimes at a red light, I done did something and then I can't go all of a sudden, and then people behind me blowing. So, and it's annoying. And so when I'm a car driver, I'm like I'm not so quick to honk and blow at someone, like that. So yes, definitely. Doc J, what about you?
The same. The same. I'm so patient driving because I ride a bike. So I'm all for bikers. I'm just always keeping the distance, in between other cars and always looking around and just very more aware and alert when I drive my car since riding a motorcycle. I don't even speed as much in my car anymore.
Yeah, me too.
Same thing here. I used to be very careful, especially doing the four corners of the United States. I was the road captain. Oh, there's a nice picture of the winter.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I used to be the road captain, designing all the roads. Joe had my back in the back, was doing the mechanics, and we had such a wonderful friendship of motorcycle riding, him and I. And we preferred riding just the two of us. And we did all 48 states, and then 9 province of Canada. And I wish we could go back, but it's the way it is. The way it is. But again, I'm going to say it one more time. We ride through the riders that comes in the Four Corners Park all the time.
I want to say real quick. I had a question. Leroy asked, "What is the Four Corners X? The difference between the Four Corners and the Four Corners X? Explain the Four Corners X." And so, to my knowledge, and someone else can jump in, but to my knowledge is you go to one corner. Say I go to San Ysidro, but then I have to go to Kansas,
Lebanon, Kansas.
Lebanon, Kansas, the geographical center of the U.S.
Yes.
And then you go from there to your next corner, and then you go back to the geometrical Truex, the center, and then you go to your next corner, and then you come back to Kansas, and then you go to your fourth corner, and then you come back. So it's making an X across the United States.
That's correct.
Yep.
And you get additional days to do that. And is that one about 8,000 or 9,000 miles, and the True X is about 6,000 miles? I forget. I've heard it so many times I've forgotten.
Well, when we did the Four Corners of United States, we did it clockwise and counterclockwise, and we both ended up about 11 to 12,000 miles, closing the loop, because you don't need to close the loop, obviously. So, but we were lucky because we always left from one corners. But it's 30 days on the roads to close the loop, and it's about 8,000 miles, or maybe less if you 8 to 11,000, depending.
Yeah.
Doc J, I said, "Hey, we're gonna do the True X." Doc J said, "No, we're gonna do what you said, Doc."
I said we're gonna do the Four Corners, and that's it. That's all. And let me explain. I have no interest in doing the True X because I would be bored. I would be bored going from one corner, riding up this, then having to go back to a corner and then go back to Kansas. Like I would lose my mind. I don't have the patience for that.
But it looks different. Going from San Ysidro to Kansas, and then you go up to Blaine, Washington, and come back and go down to Florida and come back and then go up to Maine. It looks different.
No.
Yes.
All the ways you come to it.
One
thing I would have
driving from Florida
would be the same.
No, from Florida to Kansas is all different country.
Yeah.
And driving through the desert to get to Kansas is different.
Hey,
one thing I would have wished for the Four Corners of the United States is that the other three corners would have had something, maybe not similar, but something to honor the people that were going to their city or town, St. Isidro and Blaine and Key West, something more than a post office to offer to those travelers. And that's our goal. That's why we did it. But it's a shame because a lot of people are asking, well, what can I expect at the other Four Corners? Take your photo and gas receipt, and that's all. So
not nearly as much as Madawaska does. Blaine was interested in a park when I was on the board. And we had 2 or 3 meetings with the city fathers, and I don't know whatever happened to it. But
you need volunteers, Barbara. You cannot do something like the Madawaska Four Corners Park without volunteers. Hundreds of volunteers came in and put their nails into a piece of wood or hot top the driveway or plant a tree or it needs volunteer. You need a good spearheader, but also volunteers. And I think that's what the other cities are lacking. No interest from and it's a commercial plus for a small town because
Sure it is.
motorcycle
But
every single day of the summer from March to late October. We have tens motorcycles a day coming in, and which is it's economically sound. So
yeah.
plus we get to meet a lot of people. So
Well,
Yeah.
it's the difference between a community and a community with a sense of community.
thank you.
It is. It was lovely. When I got there, we had been in communications, Doc J and Barbara. Me and Diane had been in the communications on my way up there. And she said, let me know when you get here. But when I got there, she was in Canada. And I was literally like standing in the park and looking across at Canada. And she was like, yeah, give me a few minutes. Me and my husband will be over there in a minute. We're over in Canada. And I was like, wow.
Yeah,
And
we
Yeah.
get that a lot. People coming in at the park, and again, we're volunteers, so we're not always there. And we do have people taking care of the maintenance and everything. But we have our phone number in the center and said, please give us a call so we can come down. We live just a few minutes. And even if we're in Canada, it takes us a few minutes to cross the border. We like to meet everyone.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
before the park was there, Danny said as soon as you drove into town, people couldn't wait to help you. I guess he's driven into town, and one guy said he'd take him to lunch, and he waited until they were through doing their pictures and everything, and just sat there in his car, and then he took him to a restaurant, and they all had lunch. So the whole town turns out like that in Madawaska. That's very different.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Barbara, for saying so. We're proud of our community. It's half French, half English, and we get along.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Awesome.
Real quick, I want to say big up to Big SARS. Thanks for being here. I see Juanita Shaw is in the building. Thank you guys for joining us. I saw Kyrie in the building. Thank you guys for joining us. The dates, Princess McCall asked you and I, Doc J, what dates are we planning on leaving out next year? And I just wanted to let her know June 27th is our day that we are leaving out. I'll be leaving out from Nashville, Tennessee. And hey, Cynthia, Snacks is in the building. So I'll be leaving out from Nashville. I'm going to meet up with Doc J in Arizona. And then we're going to go from Arizona, where she lives, going on to our first corner, which is San Ysidro. And we plan on going live and, you know, rocking our t-shirts. And hey, Doc J, I got a quick question for you. Are you an exercise person? What are you doing to prepare for the ride, right? Are you, you know, I know it's a way, but what are you doing to prepare for the ride? Like me, I'm doing my physical therapy so my knee can be together so I can hold my bike up. Okay. What are you doing?
Well, for me, physically, well, right now I'm dieting because I'm trying to lose weight, which has nothing to do with the ride. So right now I'm doing a little exercise just because I'm a big girl and I'm trying to lose 15 pounds. But in reference to preparing for the ride, it's never physical for me. Like physically, I'm great. Physically, I'm a long distance rider. I mean, I can do 1,300 miles a day as long as the weather is good. I don't like being cold and wet and all of that, but weather, I mean, physically I'm fine. So for me, what I prepare for with whatever ride I do is mentally and spiritually. My mind has to be right. So preparing for this ride, that means that I have to remove myself from around certain people, certain groups, whether it's at work, home, outside of home. For me, it's just really being in a good space, like really being centered with my conversations with God, me and God, and, you know, my spiritual, you know, being fed, you know, through the word and things of that nature, because I'm just a firm believer that we can do whatever we say we can do. And as long as you don't make any excuses and your mind is clear, you're going to be okay. And, you
Yep.
know, so for me, that's where my preparation is more mental and spiritual. You know, I tell time that anybody can ride a bike, but it's the mental and the spirit is what keeps you up on that bike, and it keeps you safe. You know, everybody know I hate U-turns. I always be like, oh, my U-turns suck. I can't do U-turns. I mean, I really can do a U-turn. I can, but not the greatest. And a lot of people ask me, how have you been able to ride all 48 states and ride all over the country and you can't do a U-turn? And I'm like, because it's mental. I'm like, it's mental. If I say I can do a U-turn, I'm going to do it. If I say I can ride 48 states, I'm going to do it. If I say I can successfully complete 4 corners, guess what? I'm going to do it because my faith tells me I can do it, and I'm going to believe that. So as long as my head is right, I'm good. So for like 3 months prior to us doing our ride, I'm going to be isolating myself from negativity. I'm going to get off social. I don't want to see nothing. I just want to be in a good, happy space. And that's how I'm going to ride.
It's time to defrag your brain when you're on a bike. Completely
Yes.
defrag, reorganize,
Yes.
and find your straight arrow in there. This is what I love
Yes.
about motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Between being on my little BMW, my 79, and when I went on a Three Flags again with Danny, it had been 18 years since I'd been on that bike. And I thought, how am I going to do this? How do I even know I'm going to get tired? I'm 2 decades older. And we got on the way to Three Flags and got to Hawthorne, Nevada and Fallon, Nevada. And it was like, where did all that time go? I didn't even notice a thing. I'm just sitting there listening to the hum of the engine.
That's it.
That's what I like.
Yes.
Do you all see this right here? Us 4 women, totally different backgrounds, totally
Absolutely.
different areas of the world, and we come together for the love of motorcycling, and we now here putting in some miles. This is an awesome show. You hear me? Awesome show. I'm glad State Solo was out on the road and I was able to do this by myself.
Well, I'm anxious to meet the 2 of you up in Madawaska.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get you to eat good lobster roll up here if you eat lobster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I didn't do. I was so focused and moving and having breakdowns, and I was out there by myself that I didn't get to eat no good lobster in Maine. I didn't eat nothing good down there in Miami. I didn't eat nothing good. You know, I didn't eat nothing good. I was focused. So this, Doc J, I'm hoping when me and you go out there, you'll be like, no, we're about to eat.
Come on, you already know I'm not greedy. You know I'm gonna have a meal. Come on now. And the lobster in Maine is good. I did when I did my 48 states, and I did eat the lobster and go to the restaurant in Kittery, Maine, and it was amazing. I'm always gonna eat. I mean, I don't eat while I'm riding, but when it's time to bed down, I'm gonna find a hot tub dinner for the night.
Yeah, and again, I really hope you consider the 4 corners of Maine. It's about 800 miles, but you have to go up. You have to, from the bottom of the state, you're going up. So might as well do something and visit, you know, the seaside, the fishing side, the mountain side, and over here it's, you know, the valley. So something different every corners of the Maine. State of Maine.
How long do you think it would take me and Doc J to do? How much?
Couple extra days. That's all.
Okay.
400 miles a day. That's nothing.
Yeah, it's only 800 miles. As long as the weather is good, because I hate being cold.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people leaving on the Friday morning and Sunday afternoon, they're back home. I mean, there's no time limit, by the way. You can do a corner every year. We do not want a time limit because we want people to visit Maine, to enjoy every part of Maine. But I mean, it's it's 800 to 900 miles to close the loop. So it's not that bad. You guys going to be doing too many miles anyway. Little ride like that
Yeah.
is nothing for you guys.
Hey,
Uh,
Doc J, most wanted, Miss Juanita Shaw said, Doc J greedy.
Exactly. She know we're gonna eat. That's for sure. That's why I'm losing weight now.
Great.
April and Jay, do you have heated handle grips?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Get them.
That's too hot for me. But I have heated gloves. I have all the heated gear. I just don't like having to use because it just makes it for an uncomfortable ride. I don't like
Well,
to have on all that extra
you can
gear.
use your thin gloves and the heated handle grips. That is the end of blue fingernails that feel like they're gonna crack off.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well, we
strongly
sell
recommend.
secondhand. We sell secondhand gloves at the park. We sell secondhand sweatshirts, secondhand sweatpants for those people who get caught in a little freeze. We call it the pre-love rack. So people drop their
Nice.
clothes that they don't wear anymore, jackets, boots, and people buy it because, oh my God, I'm cold. Here's a sweatshirt, it's a couple bucks. So
No, I had
you're
heated grips
I
on my
actually,
bike, and my husband removed them because it was just too hot. Yeah, I don't care for the heated grips.
yeah, no, I'll put a layer in. I'll do 2 layers of shells or something like that, and then go from
yeah,
there.
but
But
you're
I've never.
coming in June. You're coming
Yeah, we're
in
gonna.
June, right? You
Yeah,
shouldn't be cold. You should be, I mean,
good.
maybe wear a sweatshirt, but you're not going to get frost by
No.
in June. I
Yeah,
promise you. There I
that's
am
good.
promising
Yeah,
something, and if you get frozen, you're gonna be mad at me.
that's why we picked that month for good weather. That's
Yes,
why we
Yeah,
that's
picked that
great.
month.
yeah.
That's great.
And
That's
so
good.
our tour is gonna go. We're gonna go from. We've planned to go to San Isidro first. We're not gonna do what I did because Doc J has just completed the I-10 to the end. I've already done it as well. So we're strictly just gonna hit these. And she's done the 48. I've done the 48. So we're strictly gonna go and follow the route. So I did some crazy stuff and went to the West Coast, to the East Coast, and then back to the West Coast. Hey, what's that, Barbara?
I think that's Barbara. Gotta mute her phone.
Hey, she cool
Barbara
with it.
got to
But
smoke.
listen, I know, right? So what we're not gonna do? We're gonna go follow a circle. So that's correct,
Yeah.
right, Dr. J? Yeah, we're gonna hit
Yes.
San Isidro up to Blaine. We're
Blaine,
gonna go over to Maine and
Maine,
then
and then
down
down to
to
Florida.
the west. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way.
That's a good way.
Yep.
And
That's
then the only
probably the
thing we would
best
probably
weather way.
add is, yeah, the only thing we would add before going to Florida is just doing the four corners of Maine. And the weather is good.
Yeah.
All right. If
Well,
you need any
So we would do the
information, you
four
let me know.
corners in Maine and then go down to Florida to finish it. And then I'll go back. I'll close the loop because since I got to come back to Arizona, I'll just go all the way back to California and close it just so I can say for me that I did the full 4 and just close the loop since
Okay.
it'll
Great.
be my first time doing it.
Sounds like
Okay.
a plan.
yeah.
What are
Yeah.
some interstates? What are some routes and interstates that we're going to be taking, or that Barbara or Diane or Doc J? I really haven't mapped it out yet, but what are some interstate routes that you guys think we should take on this
Well, if you're in Maine, try to do Route 11.
Route
From
11?
Yes, you can pick it up a little in Bangor. You can pick it up or after Bangor. Like Bangor is like the center. So you'll either go 95, but I recommend US 11 all the way up to Fort Ken, which is 20 miles from here. You will love it. You will love it. It's a winding road, mountains, valleys, uh, new pavement. So I recommend.
That's
Well,
right.
San Isidro going north to Blaine, you're going to have to deal with Southern California traffic, and that's a task. Once you get into Northern California, that improves. Oregon and Washington are nice. And then if you're going to be thinking about extra time in Maine to do the four corners of Maine, you can just stream along Interstate 90 across Idaho and Montana and the Dakotas. I mean, Interstate 90 is wide open. I love the big sky country. So
Okay.
you can make time on that even and pick up on that to have your extra time in Maine. Don't you
Okay.
think, Diane?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if they take 90 and they don't go through New York or the 95, they'll have to
Oh,
go through New Hampshire and Vermont through 9, and it's not a divided highway, so they'll lose a little bit of time. Vistas are nice, but you lose a little bit of time. So if you want to hit Maine as fast as possible, stick to 90, and then Connecticut, Massachusetts through the 84 or something like that, and stick on 95.
right.
But again, it depends if you want to do less highway or better byways. I don't know.
And
I
I'm
think
thinking,
Danny went around New York City 3 times trapped on 95.
Oh yeah, going through the Bronx is not a happy thing, but it's doable.
hey, the Bells say they love it that I'm taking notes. Absolutely, because
Mhm.
I am.
Absolutely.
I'm a planner, and I like to plan
That's
out my
right.
stuff, and I stand on business. So if I say I'm gonna take the 10, the 5 to the 10 to the 90 to the 95, that's what we're gonna do because I've already
Yeah,
planned it and routed out. Now I know things come up, but I like to have my notes and my reference points on what I said we was going to do. And
exactly.
some pictures. You can see Doc J in Arizona. You see me up there. I went up to Michigan, and so I'm excited to pull the individual writing styles between myself and Doc J and bring it together and have a wonderful trip. Because she's an independent writer. I'm an independent writer. And I'm looking forward to see how we mesh together and make this work, especially when things come up. Because, you got the naysayers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Mhm.
that ain't going to work. And y'all going to get, you're going to get into it. People, Doc J, you and I, we are going to make sure we have our I's dotted, our T's crossed, and we're going to have
Mhm.
fun. And if anything comes up, we know how to communicate. That's the issue out here. People don't know how to
Exactly.
communicate with each other.
Exactly.
So me
And
and you
that's the
can have
difference.
communication and
Yep.
say, hey, I'm tired. I want to stop. I should be able to tell you I want to stop. I'm tired without it having been an issue.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why
Exactly.
traveling just
Well,
two is the best.
I already told you, a lot of times my motto is always and will always continue to be always be the leader that you would follow. Everybody wants to be a leader, but they don't know how to follow or they have a problem with following. And the reason why I said I wanted to do the ride with you, not that I can't do it by myself, I want to do it with you because we click, we have fun together, and also because I trust you. Anybody know me? No, I don't trust people like that at all. That's why I do a lot of riding by myself, because the one thing I do know is you cannot ride with just anybody. And it's not just about the writing part of it, it's the attitude, it's
Mhm.
the being able to listen, it's to knowing when you need to lead and knowing when you need to follow, knowing when you need to speak and when you need to just shut up and humble yourself. And for
Absolutely.
me, because I'm going on this ride with you, you have already done it. So I can't tell you anything because you have done it. So on this ride, I'm the student and you are the teacher. So I'm going to follow you. It's like I have nothing to say. I'm going to be enjoying the ride, having my conversations with God like I always do, shaking like booty meat as soon as a U-turn come up. As soon as I see an animal, I'm gonna be freaking out, but I'm gonna be talking to myself and I'm gonna be having fun. But far as the communication, that's why we're doctors. We had to go through a lot of years of schooling and reading with folks to get to the level where we're at. And communication is always key. And just like you said, you're a planner, very organized, and so am I. And for this ride, like I said, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to follow you as the leader, point blank period.
Now you got a
I'm gonna
perfect
trust you.
partner.
If
No,
you take if you go the wrong way, guess what? I'm going the wrong way with you. I'm not gonna question it. And that's where people go wrong. People plan rides. You have a leader that's planning a ride, and then you have a student or a guest that's on the ride trying to tell you what route to go. And no, that's not go here. Let's go this way. It's like you can only have one leader that's planning and leading this ride. So even if you do it wrong, guess what? We just gonna be that's out and lost, and we just gonna have to figure it out. But we're not
Yeah.
gonna argue and be fighting over which way to go. And no,
No,
that's petty.
it's nice that each
It's
one
not the
has its own job to do, and
yeah,
one is
exactly,
the leader, and the other one is the take care of the other one leading. It's one takes care of
exactly,
the
and
other.
that's me,
Yeah, I
and
think you
that's
guys are going to
me.
be great.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
before
are.
there were
We
radios,
gonna
Yeah,
be
before
great because
there
I
were
already said it.
radios,
I already said we're gonna be
I already
great, and
said we
whatever I
good.
say, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do. So
That's
we
right.
you
straight.
know
I'm
what,
gonna be zip, and I'm gonna let Dorothy handle this trip.
you know what this means when you're on a bike?
For me, it's a moose.
No,
No,
moose.
that means there's a cop ahead.
Oh, I
Oh
thought
yeah, yeah.
no,
We know
I
that.
You
thought
know,
this.
That's
you
the
know what
tap.
this means
That's the
on a
tap.
bike?
No, I thought
This
this
means
meant it
you're
was a
right.
cop
No, this
ahead.
is police.
This means
A
there's a
police.
flashing light up ahead. This means your
Oh,
right blinker's still on. This means your left blinker's still on.
okay.
So
Mhm.
there's a whole communication you can do that way too when you're cool on a trip, unless you have CBs. But one thing that really gets in Danny's way, he likes to get up early, ride, and then stop and have a breakfast and go on
Oh no.
and shut off at about 4 or
I prefer
5
that too.
before the deer come out. And he's ridden with people that get up at 9 in the morning and fiddle around a town until noon and then think they're going to finish a ride. You got to figure out who's the morning person and who's the evening person.
Yeah,
Mm.
it
I'm
is what it
definitely
is.
morning.
Yeah, me too. I get up early. I like to get up and hit it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
with the
morning, and I
birds.
don't eat on the ride. I just snack, little pickle, water, Gatorade, some peanuts. That's pretty much it. I don't eat until it's time to bed now.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
That's
So you
right.
don't get sleepy.
Give me a
But
can of
Yeah.
sardines. Give me a can of sardines and some water. I'm hitting it. I'm good.
Peanut butter and crackers.
You
peanut butter and
that
crackers.
toothpaste
Yeah,
with you. I
yeah.
don't want to be smelling no funky breath.
You know,
Talk about eating sardines. You better keep that toothpaste and toothbrush.
Hey, real quick, I got cut up in the building out of Oklahoma. What's going on, cut up? Thanks for joining us tonight. We're pretty much about to wrap it up. I really want to. Oh yeah, David Bell said pair of headsets. Hey, Doc J,
Mhm.
are we going to communicate in our helmets? We're going to have to pair that up. I've never done it really before.
I'll leave that up to you, but honestly, for me, I have a Bluetooth, but I really don't like people bothering when I'm riding. Like, I pay attention to body language and I pay attention to the signals. For me, like my husband, that's why when I have a pit crew, I don't have a on my pit crew because I don't want people texting me. I don't, I have no sense of direction with the GPS. It kicks me out the GPS. It messes up my when I'm on my bike, I like to just enjoy the road, looking at the mountains, really having a conversation with God. And I just be so excited that I'm on my bike because even when I'm on my bike, I can never really believe that I really know how to ride a motorcycle. So I don't like to communicate through the headsets and do all of that. I like to just ride and enjoy the ride and watch your body movement and your signals to tell me, what we're next. But again, you're the leader. I'll follow whatever you want to do. If you want to use the Bluetooth and communicate, we can. I would just say, let's only use it for emergencies. I don't want to be having long conversations while we're trying to ride.
yeah.
Pay attention. And it only takes it takes 1 second to hit the wrong rock, the wrong hole, anything. And sometimes when you're talking on the phone, you get so excited in conversations, you lose focus. That's why I don't like to communicate through headsets when I'm on my bike, because I'm always paying attention. I don't take it for granted that anything can happen on that road.
Yeah, we had a set like that one trip that we took, and we ditched it. We didn't like it at all, because for me, riding is my time of being with myself, and we
Exactly.
could hear like a back noise, and it didn't sound good at all. We have our ways to communicate, So for me, it didn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
My main one is I'm hungry.
Oh,
Yeah. I can eat every 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that. Hey, Doc J, when I do like this, I need a can of sardines, man.
Be like, hey, you better have some sardines in your pocket so you can eat while you're on that bike. You better be like Snacks and put a snack pack on that bike and have your snacks right there within reach.
Yeah. Hey, Sharif and K Solo do that too. Hey, I saw Sharif with that thing, and I said, "What is that on your?" He said, "Man, that's where you keep your map and all your info and little snacks,
Exactly.
Your tank bags." Thank you, Michelle T. King. Yeah, the
Yep.
tank bags. And Michelle, I saw you ask where we were going. Doc J and I, we are planning to do the Four Corners tour next year. We're going to do the U.S. We're calling it the Doctor's Trip. And so we're going to get out here and we're going to bond and be intimate and make this tour happen. And we're going to take pictures and document and communicate along the way.
well, I guess I have an emergency, so I'm going to have to let you go. But thank you so much for,
Thank you.
well, my dog is not feeling very well, and maybe we have to make some decision tomorrow. But right now she's having a bad time, so I'm gonna have to go check on her.
Hey, thank you for joining us tonight. We're actually getting ready to wrap it out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I want to see both of you in June. And Mrs. Fox,
yes, God's will.
let's try to communicate. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Bye.
That's been great, Diane.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, Miss Diane.
And then, yep, we're wrapping it up, ladies. Barbara, if you got any last words?
No, just to pay attention who's the morning person and who's not. And April, I want to maybe have a video call with you whenever you're off and have time. And I'll show you those hand signals, because the passenger was responsible for warning people behind them. There's a different signal for sand on the road. There's a different signal for an obstacle in the road, like somebody's trash bag, or where the blacktop is worn away at the edge of the road. There's just a whole communication thing with the hands.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you again, Barbara. Yeah, I'll definitely be in contact with you so we can go further and talk, and you can show me those. But thank you so much, Barbara, for joining us, and please tell your husband I said hello.
Oh, sure. Will do. Good to see you. And Dr. J, April can give you my phone number, and maybe one time this next year we can get together.
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking forward to it. I sure will.
Not so far. We can do it.
Yep.
Okay, ladies.
Thank you.
It's been lovely.
Thank you. Good night, Barbara.
Thank you, Miss Barbara.
All right. Good night
Miss
now.
Barbara. Bye. Hey, Doctor. Doctor, I think I saw something pop up from Kimber the Lioness that said we need to hook up with her in Florida. And yes, definitely get with her because she is one of my Facebook friends that I've been following for a while, and I meet her in person.
Oh, yeah.
So since she put that invite out there, I definitely want to be able to touch palms with her and get a hug from her. And I'm so proud of everything that, she's doing. I just look forward to meeting her in person.
I got you. I've already met her in person a couple of times. She's
I know.
I consider her a friend, man, and so we definitely gonna hit up, and we call her Kyrie. So Kimber the Lion, Kyrie. So we're definitely going to hit her up.
Wow. And it's crazy that you just said that is gonna bring me to tears, but I'm not even gonna go there. My son who passed, name is Kyrie.
Oh
So just hearing
wow!
that name, yeah,
Oh, Doc,
yeah,
you got my,
yeah.
you touched me there. I didn't, you
So
know,
I definitely gotta touch palms with her. Definitely gotta touch palms with her for sure.
absolutely. That's your husband right
For
there, isn't
sure. Yep, that's my husband. That's little Jamie and Jalen, my boys. That's when, matter of fact, that picture is so funny. I posted that picture and K Solo, I think that was the first time he acknowledged who I was. I used to follow him all the time, and I had just come back from doing Jen Brew's ride, the all-female to Florida, the first time, and that was the furthest I had ridden. And I did that ride Florida, and I took that picture, and I remember there was a page, I'm not sure what page it was, but it was a page that I think Kayla or a group that he created, and he put that as like the profile picture and gave me like a shout out. And I was like, oh my God, K Solo, one of the greatest writers, a legend. Like, he knows who I am. He put me as a profile picture. Like, wow, so that picture brings back memories, because now those two little boys are grown. Jalen just turned 21 and Jamie is 19, and I've been riding now 11 years. So I would say that picture is definitely probably about 8 years ago, because I think I did Jen Brew's ride. Yeah, I think I did her ride after riding for 2 years. I was still very, very new when I went on that journey. So that picture just makes me smile, because it just makes me remember doing that ride and just getting that shout out from, K Solo. Like, I don't really care. People know me. I don't care what people think about me, good or bad or whatever. I'm just going to be me. K Solo is a person that when I learned to ride and just really followed him, it meant a lot to me to acknowledge, by him, based on some of the riding challenges I had been through, and just having someone of his staff, just acknowledge and be like, man, you did that, and you did it solo, and you did it solo. My hat's off to you. So big up to Case, always, bringing new riders to the forefront. He's a humble guy. He's always showing love to males as well as females, and a lot of folks don't do that, but I definitely take my hat off to K Solo for even just opening up this platform to be able to, for folks to come on and have different, conversations like these. So shout out to K Solo.
Shout out to K Solo. We're gonna give him a round of applause.
Yay!
Okay, well, listen, I know you just got off work. We didn't win an hour and a half, and we had 30 minutes of pre-production, so I done kept you for 2 hours. I hope you get some rest.
Well, girl, you done woke me up now, because now I'm back thinking about this ride, and now I'm getting so excited, and I wasn't even thinking about the four corners of Maine. So now I got to get my mental right for that. So, hey, I'm excited. Like, I got something to look forward to next year. I'm going to do a lot of rides that I was going to do, because I got to make sure, financially I'm straight to do this ride as well. So I'm excited.
Me too. And real quick, I just want to say, when I was out there doing my ride by myself, I had been watching K Solo, right? But one time I stopped and I seen that he had commented and said, like, he was doing something. I said, "Ooh, K Solo."
See?
K Solo, y'all here in these streets.
Exactly. I mean, you the bomb when K Solo acknowledge you, because like he so much. He don't be paying attention to people like that. So if he paid attention and gave you a shout out, it's like, man, that's respect.
That's respect. Respect. Like you
That's
can't tell me
respect.
nothing.
You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. That's just like Big Sale too. When Big
Yep.
start giving me shout outs and put me on this platform and recognizing me, I was like, oh wow, all these legends and riders that's really been riding, just acknowledging you. That's a confidence booster, especially for a new rider. During those days I'm just barely learning how to ride. What's up, Big
Good
Sam?
job. Look
Yeah,
at y'all. Look at y'all.
I'm just, Big Sale gave me a lot of pointers, him and Queen. It's been, I've ran across a lot of good people as a new rider that has really helped me in my riding journey. I want to give a shout out to Snacks too. Cynthia Franklin, I always call her my president, because that's how she moves. She moves just as a president. She moves as a great leader. It's a lot of women out here that they don't want to share knowledge with you. They want to keep things to themselves. And what I mean by that, and I know our time is ending, but I just want to put this point out there. What I mean by that is I've reached, Sunshine Rogers too. That's another one. I've reached out to certain women earlier in my riding career and say, hey, I want to do the 48 states. Share with me. I just saw you did the 48 states and you did it in like 7 days. Can you share with me like the route that you took? Because I've never been, I'm a planner, I'm organized, I want to be successful. Can you pointers? Can you give me, like from A to Z, the route that you've taken? And their response was, go figure it out just like I did. And I'm like, wow, I know I can figure it out, but I've been watching you, you the bomb, I'm trying to get some knowledge, can you give me pointers? And I've had women to say that. And I'm just like, wow, are you saying that because you want to be the only one to say that you completed the 48 states? Like, I'm confused. And I would say Pied Piper. I reached out to her after being shot down by like 4 women. And I'm not going to name people, but I'm naming Pied Piper because I reached out to her and immediately she was like, here, this is what I did. She mapped it out from A to Z, told me hotels. I mean, she went above and beyond. It was like no hesitation. And I was like, wow, you're really giving me this blueprint. And she was like, yes, the is to go enjoy your ride and make it back home safely to your family. And some states like New York and some are going to be really bad. So I want to give you the best and the safest route through these different little areas so that you can be successful. And from that moment, like, I have just had so much love and respect for Pied Piper. Like, she's a real one. Like, she's selfish with helping other women riders excel to the riding level of where she's at. You know what I mean? And that's why I say I will not just ride with just any old body, because you really can't just trust any old body. If a person can't share knowledge with you to help you be better and they want to keep that knowledge to themselves, that's not somebody I want to ride with. You know what I mean? So I say all this to say that, even with you taking this lead and you and I doing this ride, as you map it out, you plan your route and all of that, document that, because then there may be other women who may want to do that. And then that you can give them that route and you can show them, a safe way how to do it. Like, don't keep it, to yourself. If anybody asks and, they want that route, give them that knowledge. You really could be saving someone's life by a simple route. You know what I mean?
Yep. Justice said, empower to inspire.
That's good. I like that.
Empower to inspire.
Justice is another one. Yeah,
Yep. That's it.
she's
Yep.
another one that rides. It's a lot of women riders that's out just, I mean, ride. They do all these crazy challenges like Jamaica doing a hokey hay and Mama Bird, like that stuff. I don't have the desire. Like I said, it's mental for me, and mentally I will be over that. Like everybody know, I'm a fake biker. It ain't no lifestyle for me. It's a hobby. I'm bougie. I'm not sleeping outside. I'm not sleeping in no Motel 6. I'm not camping on the ground. I'm not showering in no love. So hokey hay and all that, it's not for Doc. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, we're in a monkey do, monkey see generation, because Dolly Justice does this or that. Now Doc J want to do it. No, Doc J don't operate like that. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to do the rides that I want to do, and I'm going to ride at my comfort level. You know what I mean? People will see these challenges. I saw something go across the screen because it's really small, but correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I saw a comment somewhere where they said, please let us know the dates, because other women may want to join you guys, or they may want to participate on the ride. If that was a comment, I want to speak to that and say that this is a ride that Dr. Remy and I are actually, this is a Four Corners ride I wanted to do. And then I wanted Dr. Remy to be the leader of this ride, because this was a ride that I really wanted to have fun with someone actually in the ride, but it's not an open invite. Dr. Remy is probably okay with inviting riders, but for me, trust people like that. I don't want to ride with people like that. My patience can get bad. Me and Dr. Remy, we have a relationship. I know she rides hard and I ride hard. I don't want to be stopping every 20 miles talking about I gotta pee, I want to eat. I mean, we gonna be pushing it, and everybody can't push like that. People see the ride and like, oh, we want to do, that's fine. You can go create your own ride. I know Gorilla Blue took a handful of people. I know he opened up his ride for people to join. In the future, Dr. Remy may open up this ride again, depending on if she like me or not. When we do it together, she may open it up again to the public, but the ride is just for me and her to just really bond as sisters, as friends, and for me to just really be able to sit back and relax and release me to control or plan anything. I just want to kick back and follow her lead. But in following her lead, her riding style is like mine. So that's why I know, I'm going to be okay. So to answer that question, it's not an open invite. We're not inviting anybody to the ride. This isn't a monkey see, monkey do. Oh, this looks so exciting. No, this is just a personal ride for me and Remy to just do our thing and do it with each other and just have fun. And then, Remy will document and do all of those things. And then if she decides to open it up in the future, you guys will have that information. If she doesn't decide to open it up, if you guys want the route and all of that information, we're both definitely going to be documenting that, and I'll give it out freely, because I definitely want, women and men who want to do this ride to be successful.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. Thank you for saying that. And big up, I saw Storm was in the building, my last people that was coming in. Thank y'all for all joining us. Thank you, Doc J, for taking your time out so we can discuss this. I'm glad I got you to meet Diane, but you'll meet her in person.
Yes.
She's a beautiful person. She made me
Yes, I'm excited to meet her. Wait, what did somebody say? What did that message say?
Which one? What did it say?
Somebody said some Reef Jr.
Hey,
what does that mean? Explain. Like, what does that mean?
I think she mean Reef. Sharif.
Sharif.
I think she's talking about Sharif, and I think she's saying like Reef don't be opening up the rides like that, or something like that, or no, Baldhead Nasty said it, but I don't know. I think maybe Reef don't like to ride with everybody, and so you're hitting on something, so they're calling you Reef Junior, because
Well, hey, I'll take that as a compliment because Reef is the man when it comes to riding. You know what I mean? So, so
and he,
apparently, what he does works. So that's why I'm like, tell me more. Tell because I want to
absolutely,
be successful. Not knock on wood. 11 years. I ain't went down yet. Knock on wood. I'm not even speaking that in existence, but it's because instances be on point. I don't ride with everybody. I'm not gonna ride with everybody, and I'm not gonna change that. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. I don't want to ride with everybody. I just want to
yeah.
be me.
Yep. That's what they say. You can't ride with everybody. And so, like you said, I
Mhm.
would be more open, like, yeah, come on. And then
No,
that's a trip to be miserable.
exactly. And that's a lot of riding doing these four corners, and because we've been to all of the corners. Like you did it in one trip. I've done all four corners. I just haven't done it in one trip. But
Okay.
even just going from one corner to the next or doing 48 states, that's a lot on you mentally, physically, and spiritually. So being out on the road, we're talking about 21 days. Like, I love my husband to death. We going on 3 days being married, and I know he definitely can't be on the road with me for 21 days. I would drive him crazy. I would get on his nerves. He would get on my nerves. He'll be cussing me out, talking about why you don't know how to do a U-turn. Why you don't know how to do a U-turn? Speed it up. So even my husband, I know I can't be on the ride with him like that because he fussed too much. We would be arguing. He don't want to eat. I ain't gonna want to eat. You know what I mean? So you really have to know your audience. And if you know your audience and who you're riding with, your rides much more comfortable and happier. So the
Yes.
more people you take on the road, that's more stops, more issues, more breaking down, and you're not supposed to leave nobody. So that means, if your bike break down, we got to stop and get that fixed. Back on
Right.
the road, then somebody else bike break down. Like, that's too many people. That's a headache trying to go across all these states with all of these people. You have to have the patience for that. And that's why I give Gorilla Blue much props. You say what you want about Blue, but that man, he loves large groups cross country. Why? I don't know, because I can't do it. I really can't. Not me. I couldn't do it.
I really think Gorilla Blue, he just don't care. Like, he gonna say what he gonna say. You gonna follow or you ain't gonna follow. You know what I mean? You
Yep.
can start off with me.
Yep.
If you don't want to follow my lead, then go ahead on about your business, because it's just not his thing. And I think that's why he can handle that. I don't know if I can handle it because I don't like to deal with too many attitudes myself. Like,
Exactly.
so,
And
but I
especially
know,
women, we're so emotional. Women, we're so emotional. We break a toenail, we crying, we want to quit. We can't go to the next corner because my nail is broke, my foot hurt, I'm cramping. So, yeah, it's a lot with women. It's a lot with women. You have to be prepared with women, and then you also have to know yourself. Like I said, I know me. I know sometimes I could be a control freak because I'm so like, hey, let's do it this way. But I also, because I know that about me, I also know when I need to shut up and be the student. And for this ride, I'm the student. And I mean just that. I mean, the only time I got something to say is if you ask me a question or, hey, I'm following you. As long as you don't lead me off a cliff, because we
right.
get out there and I see you riding crazy and doing too much, I'm going to tell you from the start, hey, you go that way and I'm going to go this way. I'll finish the four corners by myself, because my safety, anybody that ride with me, and most females that have with me that I have taken, across state lines, They like riding with me because I'm going to ride their ride. If I notice that they're struggling or doing this or riding slower, I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to talk crap about them like most of these women's do out here,
Right.
because I've been through that. That's the other reason why for this ride, because it's a lot of riding. I don't want other people joining, because if they are, I know I'm going to cater to whoever the weakest link is. I'm going to cater to their riding style. If they want to stop every 20 miles, guess what? We're going to have to stop every 20 miles. And I don't want, like, I'm only taking so many days off from work. So, we got to get out there, get this done, and get back home. And those are the things when people jump on these rides and jump on these challenges that people don't take into consideration. They don't take in consideration that when you ride with 30 people in a pack, you got to ride to that pack's riding style. You know what I mean? If you lead in a pack, you can't be smashing 100 miles an hour and you got 30 people in a pack. That's just crazy, because they're going to be flying, trying to keep up with you, and somebody going to mess around and go down or crash into somebody. You know what I mean? So you have to use a lot of common sense when you're riding in these groups and jumping on these challenges. That's why you see the K Solo, Sharif, Snacks, Piper, Justice, Sale, Sunshine Rogers when she was riding, Most Wanted. That's why you see all these people riding these long rides and challenges by themselves. They know those are things that you really can't be doing with a lot of people. It's gonna go wrong every time. Even with Gorilla Blue and his rides, people he's taken across, ask him how many people have had to drop off and it didn't went wrong and he didn't have to cuss them out, or they didn't cuss him out, and it messes up the energy of the ride. And I don't want to do that. I want my energy good from start to finish. And with just me and you, we should be good.
We gonna be good, sis. We gonna be good.
Oh, I already know. We gonna be good.
Hey, my hat off to you, Dr. J. You are an inspiration to me. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to let you go so I can wrap it up. Hey, I planned on this show really only being about 55 minutes to an hour. We hitting on 2 hours. We got to get off this line.
Yes, we got to go. All right, sis. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate you guys. Everybody have a blessed night. Stay safe.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Hey, y'all. Hey, this is the K Solo podcast show with your host, Dr. in the Building, Remy. I did that. That was a great show. And make sure you check out the Reef and K Solo official ride to eat. I will be there. This will be my first RTE. But I'll definitely be in the building. It's going to be in Little Rock, Arkansas. So you guys make sure you register and check that out. Also, make sure you check me out. I have a charity weekend that I do in March 12th through the 14th. Please come out to Nashville. If you've never been to Nashville, come out. I got Rare Breed, Music City Flock, and I have Doc from Made Men. They're going to come out and they are, chauffeuring my ride, because we don't have, like Jim Brew and other rides have all of the police and the sheriff escorting them. No, I'm going to have my local MCs. They're going to make sure we get to point A to point B to point C safely. And so please check out on my page. It's the Sankofa Charity Weekend. We're going to have a welcoming Thursday. We're going to have a gala that Friday, Dress to Impress. Gorilla Blue is going to be my speaker. This year I had the Kathy Gray, and she did an awesome job. And so you guys just check us out. We got some stuff going on, but big shout out. Thank you to K Solo for letting me host the show while he's on the road. And thanks for everybody that tuned in. Thank you guys. And that's it. I guess it's a wrap. I got to go. Good night. Till the next time.